Welcome everybody to the inaugural race of the What Up Nitro National Series season. 2021 is shaping up to be the greatest season we've ever had in this series because it's the first one we've had all together. And I'm alongside Duke and Zach for today's race. You've got two cars in this field that belong to you, but there's no time to play favorites in this field because there's anybody in this field of 42 has a shot at winning when the day is said and done.
Absolutely. This track has been putting on some fantastic racing for us. All while we've been here, I am absolutely amazed what these drivers are able to do. And, we've been seeing a lot of the superstar cars, and I particularly am excited to see these Nitro National cars out on the track for the first time on the big super speedway. Here we go. Race time. I am so excited.
So with that being said, qualifying set the field for this 50-lap race, and we can give you the full starting lineup. Sam Denotto, a Superstar Series veteran, has put himself on pole position for the inaugural race, with Able to Grow, a Series rookie, lining up alongside him in row 1. You've got two cars in this field, Elijah Ironhouse in the 8 car, lining up 12th, and a number 3, his teammate, lining up P13. So pretty close together. You got to hope these guys can work well in the draft and hopefully find their way to the front.
Yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking having them both right in the middle, right next to each other. But, that's nerve-wracking for all of these owners and the drivers, too, because they're the ones that are in the cars. This racing can get really, really crazy, and it's going to be the craziest right in the middle. So we're going to watch to see these drivers. We're going to see how aggressive they are, because if they're too aggressive in the beginning, they could have their day ended like that, in a snap. So it's all going to depend on when the crashes happen, if they happen, and who they take out. And you got to be there at the end to be able to win it.
So that being said, as we always say, the cars are lined up on the grid. We're ready to go racing to get this 2021 season underway. This is the What Up Nitro National Series live from Pensacola Super Speedway. With Sam Denotto on pole position, Able to Grow alongside him, the pace car is off, and we're ready to get the inaugural One Up Nitro National Series race underway. The green flag is out. We are underway here at Pensacola Super Speedway, and Sam Denotto is pretty much alongside Able to Grow for the first few bits, but they're already fanning out 3 and 4 wide behind them. They're wasting no time in getting to the action.
Absolutely not. 3 wide already in row 4 right there. 4 wide just behind. This type of racing is what we've been seeing all week, and, it's just going to get crazier from here. Lap 1, 4 wide racing at Pensacola.
So with Sam Denotto out front getting a push from Nicky Martinez, plus the 2 dodges of Eric Monaco and Kyle Corbett right behind. They were in the Superstar Series. They were all in the Superstar Series last year, but they decided to drop down, try and reestablish themselves in this series. And here comes Nicky Martinez, who won at the Charlotte Roval last year, on the inside to try and take the lead with help from Kyle Corbett and the number 3 car, one of your cars, right behind.
Yeah, these cars, they're really looking good. I'm really interested to see in this race, and I'm kind of seeing it happen right now, where in comparison to the Superstar cars, where they would drive on the bottom and then coming out of the corners, they'd slide up the track a little bit, and then they'd lose that momentum coming from behind with the push. I'm interested to see if these cars have that same effect where they slide up the track out of the corners and have moves go to the bottom of them like that. The 3 car now going to the bottom, 3 wide for the lead.
With help from Kenneth Grant and Jerry Cook in the 72 right behind him. They're going 4 wide behind Sam Denotto, who manages to maintain the lead. Sam Denotto is a good road racer, and he's proving himself to be a good super speedway racer as well. He's got Kenneth Grant pushing him, Jerry Cook behind him, and right now it's all Sam Denotto so far, but look out for Kenneth Grant on the inside. He's going to try and take the lead going into 1.
Yeah, Sam Denotto had a really good situation there for only a little bit. He had 4 wide for second place right behind him, and he was kind of able to move around and block all of the lanes, but all of a sudden that outside lane started to dissipate, and now the 55 car is in the lead.
That's Kenneth Grant with help from 2 Kings Motorsports cars, Roberto Crown Jr. and Keon Daly in the 52, but behind them is Grant's teammate Keith Hughes in the Busch Chevrolet. He is in that bright blue Chevrolet. He's commanding the inside line, but now he's going to push Roberto Crown Jr. out to the lead. Crown is a Superstar Series regular, but he's dipping down for this race. He wants to try and win it. He started mid-pack, and he's already, after just 3 laps, in the lead of this race.
Yeah, and that can be really dangerous when you get two teammates lined up like that. They just realign themselves, I believe. But this, the changing the ups and downs and the flow of this race and this tracks and the style, it's just like nothing else. You see somebody get up front, and then all of a sudden they're way back. Sam Denoto is back. He's falling farther and farther back in the field, and he led the first couple of laps of this race. And I'm sure that he'll be back up front as soon as he fell behind. So there's no clear favorite at this point. It's just about survival.
Keith Hughes out in front of this pack right now, but Patrick Smith coming up the inside, one of the Carter Racing System drivers. Team owner Kevin Carter put faith in this driver. He led practice earlier this week, and now he's showing that it wasn't a fluke, because here he is in the E3 Sparkplugs Toyota, putting that Camry out in the lead where he is led, lap number 4. And look at this, they're 3, 4, 5 wide behind him. Anybody can win this race, but we're only about a tenth of the way through it.
Yeah, that's, and I'm going to keep on saying it. It might start to get repetitive, but you have to be there at the end to win this thing. And, it's just so nerve-wracking to see these cars all lined up side by side and nose to tail, going so fast, approaching 214 miles an hour average around the track. That's just an incredible amount of speed to be driving this close together. If something goes wrong, it's going to go really wrong, and you don't want to be one of the people taken out in that crash.
So it's Patrick Smith leading the way in front of two more Toyotas, and Christian Russell and Kyle Vaughters in the 62. Vaughters missed the Pensacola 500 for the Superstar race, but he made the field here, and he's proving that he can run up front because he's running in third after giving a boost to his teammate Christian Russell, and Russell now takes the lead of this race from Patrick Smith. So put Russell in the CMR Roofing Toyota out in the lead of this race. They're 3 and 4 wide behind them. And I just got to say, with all these cars lined up together, now Vaughters makes a move on the inside for the lead. He's not content to ride around. He wants to prove that he's a contender.
Yeah, something interesting about how these cars are running 3 wide. I feel like 3 wide, as crazy as it may seem, is a pretty safe bet around this really wide racetrack. There's a lot of room between the cars, but as soon as you go 4 wide, like they are a little bit right now, that's when it becomes really dangerous, because you get cars really close together, and
we got a caution flag. Yeah. We got for first caution of the day, and we've got Abel DeGroat's involved in this one. Jerry Cook with some minor damage on his car. Elijah Ironhouse with some heavy damage on his number 8 car. One of your cars unfortunately looks like he'll be done for the day on lap 7. With Santiago Alvarez with damage, Eric Monaco's got a piece of it, and as they slow down to catch up to Kason Cooper, who started P4 in this race, his race is over on lap number 7. Looks like
DeGroat started on the outside front row, so that's, a couple of heavy hitter cars were involved in this crash.
Looks like 3 of the ZD Autosport cars were involved in this one.
Ooh.
Keith Hughes was in this, Kason Cooper, and Abel DeGroat. That leaves only Kenneth Grant in that stable is being able to contend for this win. I'm just curious to see where this started, because we didn't get a good view of it. It looks like it started off at turn 2, and we just didn't catch it. But
yeah, it wasn't on the cameras. I didn't even notice. But this crash, I'm really interested to see how it happened, because it took out a lot of cars, but we never even caught it. It must have been right at the back of the pack, and it just shows that there aren't places in the field that are safe.
So this is where it starts with Abel DeGroat 4 wide with Felix Anderson's there, Jerry Cook. Oh, they're really close together, DeGroat and Cook. And I think they're just going to get hooked together and turn down into Felix Anderson. And from there, it's just game on. And Kason Cooper up on his side. And on his roof. That is not how the 51 Ally Chevrolet wanted this day to go, but it's just a part of super speedway racing. This kind of action can happen, and just like that, all of their hopes of winning in the season opener have gone down the drain.
Yeah, and we've been seeing crashes just like that all week, when 2 cars get too close together. This time they took out a bunch of more cars as they were coming back up.
So Kason Cooper's right behind where this mess starts, where DeGroat and Cook get turned down into Anderson in the 87. And from there on, he just gets tagged at the worst possible moment, and then Cooper just hits it broadside. Eric Monaco gets a bit of damage as well, and then Kason Cooper just comes to rest on his roof. Not how we wanted his day to go, but as we said, that's just a product of super speedway racing. You sometimes end up with the checkered flag, and sometimes you end up on the hook.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And, that was a really hard hit. Hopefully all these drivers are okay after that. I mean, you're going just so fast, and then you get caught up in a crash that had nothing to do with you in the original part, and then you just slide up into the wall, and then brace yourself because you're going to hit hard.
So Keith Hughes is out, Keon Daly is out, Abel DeGroat, Eric Monaco, Elijah Ironhouse, Jeremiah Dwayne, Kason Cooper. They're all out of this race. Plus, Dylan Young in the 92 had a mechanical failure under this caution flag. He will not see the checkered flag of this race, which is a shame. That Fingai Saitomi Motorsports entry was favored to be one of the championship favorites going into the season, but he'll have an early hole to dig himself out of here as he's out of the race on lap number 8.
Yeah, and that's just, like you said, the product of this type of racing. They're victims of the draft in a sense, and it's just how it goes sometimes. But this race won't define the season for anybody. It's, if you're out of the race right now because of a crash, then you're going to be able to come back if you're good enough. And if you win this race today, then that doesn't guarantee that you are set for the rest of the season either. So it's a big race. It's great to be in it and try to win it, but there's a whole season left after this, so there's no reason to get your hopes down.
So the lights are still on the pace car. We'll have at least one more lap of caution to go. It's a Royal Performance Motorsports 1-2 right now, with Kyle Vaughters leading his teammate Christian Russell in the 26. Jacob Hammond's made his way up from 36th starting spot all the way up to 3rd right now. Patrick Smith running 4th. Alexa Lutchen making her series return after a horrible incident last season in the Superstar Series. Sidelined her for the final 5 races of that season. She's back, and she's running in the 5th position, so good run from Alexa Lutchen. As you see, Jerry Cook with some minor repair work. He's back out, as is Felix Anderson. But right now, behind Lutchen, it looks like John McFadden in the 27 is running in 6th as we take a look back at all the cars we have lost in this race. There's plenty of them, and we haven't even completed 10 laps, so just keep in mind this battle for the win is going to get very intense, and not all these cars may see the end of this race.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, and I'm interested to see how this restart is going to go with the teammates lined up 1-2. They restart single file like this, so I'm interested to see if these two are going to separate and try to race each other down into turn 1, or if they're just going to push each other and try to drag the field behind them. It's either way, it's going to eventually get back to 3 and 4 wide racing. That's just how it is with this many cars. But I'm interested to see if these two are going to work with each other and take it easy, or if they're going to try to stay out front and maybe out of harm's way.
So behind John McFadden in 6th is Jared Jackson in 7th. Devin Fair, who started last in this race, has made his way up into 8th position. Zach Rogers will line up 9th for the restart, and then Bill Capri in the 63. He will round out the top 10 as the lights are out on the pace car, so we will be going green this time by. This is the 1UP Nitro National Series from Pensacola under our first caution of the day. Eliminated a handful of top-tier cars, and it's, as you see Santiago Alvarez line up on the inside, he'll take his lap down position there. But I'm just curious to see if these teammates will work together nicely, or if it'll open the door for Hammond or Smith to take the lead again.
Yeah, well, having Alvarez there is going to make the decision a little bit easier. I think it's more difficult for the 26 to jump low with the 98 car right there. And I must say that this track is one of those tracks that benefits lap down drivers the most, because Alvarez is going to be right there, and he's going to have a shot at staying up with the front group and then maybe catching a caution while he's ahead of them and getting that lap back.
But keep in mind, with these damaged cars cycling around under green, that could lead to stack-ups with the leaders. We saw that in the dual races with Braden Saul and Ryan Spartaco as well. That almost cost Spartaco a chance at making the Pensacola 500, but thankfully he still made it in. But just keep in mind, though, these lap cars are probably the biggest threat on these super speedways to the leader's day, and I'm sure we'll see that play a factor as this race progresses.
Yeah, you're totally right about that. These cars, they'll be 3 and 4 wide, and they'll come up on one lap car that's trying to stay on the track but has nowhere to go, and they're going to slow down one of those 4 lines or 3 lines. So you got to kind of be lucky in that sense to not be in the line that the lapper chooses to slow down, because that's just how it works. There's not enough room for everybody to get around every single lap car.
So the pace car is off. The green flag is in the flagman's hand. We are back underway once again. And just like that, the field fans out completely on the restart. Kyle Vaughters pulls away pretty well. But Christian Russell makes a move down to the inside past Alvarez. So he shuffles the 98 up to the high line. He's trying to get back to his teammate. And now he's got a Toyota friend in Patrick Smith as well, helping him along.
Yeah, that was a really interesting move from the 26 car. He jumped down low as soon as he saw the opening, and now both of them are lined up on the bottom, which is exactly where you want to be, but he's not content to run in second place. He's going for the lead.
Especially not to his teammate, who's not even running for the championship in this series. Christian Russell is, and he wants to get his 2021 season off on the right foot. But here comes Jared Jackson in the IKEA Chevrolet. He's making a move for second place, and he'll take it with help from Alexa Lutchen and Zach Rogers in the 42s back there helping out as well. But right now it's Christian Russell all the way, and he will lead lap number 11 as they fan out behind him.
Something I'm seeing here is that there's a lot of spread between the cars right now. Eventually they're going to condense back together, and we're going to see some guys from the way back get big runs passing these guys in the draft. So that's something to look out for as these cars start to condense back together after the restart.
So we have 34 cars remaining in this race. 33 of them are on the lead lap right now. But Christian Russell is not worrying about who's left in this race. He's focused on himself. He's trying to take the lead. But look at a run from the inside with Chris Lattimore in the 47 making a run into the top 5. But it's right now, they've got a buffer because Santiago Alvarez is still a lap down, holding up the third on back, allowing Christian Russell and Alexa Lutchen to pull away from this field.
Yeah, holding up and holding on is what I'd consider that 98 car right now. Trying to stay up there just in case there's a yellow. If he can get up ahead of these leaders. Oh, that's going to be a tight move. Alexa Lutchen going for the lead on the bottom. She just had a run, and now she's going to get help from the 98 car coming up from behind. 2 Fords helping each other out right there, and with 2 very different goals in this race right now.
So Chris Lattimore makes a move on the inside, but Lutchen has taken the lead back from Christian Russell. So now with Lutchen out front, Russell back to second, but Zach Rogers is trying to push him along in the 42 Dodge. He's trying to get that outside line forward, but right now it's just no match for that inside line. And look, we've got 2 Superstar Series drivers up down there with Miles Mashburn in the 66, Justin Hutchinson, who will start second in the 500 in the 38 Ford. As we've got trouble in the back once more. We got more contact, a lot of contact, and it looks like, Earl Sears just took a massive shot in the door, and he's flying right. Another one from Felix Anderson. Oh my goodness, this is a heavy, heavy impact for Earl Sear. One can only hope he's all right after that kind of an impact. That's surely ended his day. On lap number 14, you see Patrick Smith with damage. He's out of the race after having such a strong run early. Francois Chastain is out. Zachary DeLello is out. Roberto Crown Jr., he showed some promise. He's out. Felix Anderson, Sam Warning. Man, there's a lot of cars involved in this one. TJ Murray's also involved. Alexa Lutchen takes the caution flag. But man, that was a harder hit than we've seen in many superstar races from last season. That was a hard one.
Yeah, and that's really, really tough when you get a damaged car already after hitting the wall and you're sliding just a passenger, no control, and somebody else comes in sliding in the oil or whatever's going on, can't slow down and takes another shot. Those are the hardest hits. So I really hope everybody's okay from that accident. That I don't like the looks of that.
So you see Patrick Smith cycling around under caution. His day is done. And it looks like, and you see the field's trying to get back single file line. Sam Joseph with damage. Kyle Vaughters, he has some damage as well. He was leading on the last restart. Jerry Cook has got some. Devin Fair with some pretty significant damage. And then you see the total junk pile that is pit road, especially the 6 of Earl Sear. I really hope that 6 car can get back into fighting shape next week at Atlanta, because that was a heavy one. So this is what Earl Sear saw. He's in the middle, 3 and 4 wide. At the back of the pack, he just gets turned into Sam Joseph, and from there on, it's just a mess from there. He gets hit by TJ Murray. That's what sends him into the first spin. Then he gets hit by Sam Warning, his teammate, which puts him on his roof. He's just whiplashing out of control, and then another shot from Felix Anderson, who also went upside down. That is just a lot of whiplash for one accident, and I just really hope that Earl Sear can get... He did get out of that car under his own power. That's the best news we could hope for. He did. Yeah. He will be taken to the infield care center, the AMR safety team on the scene with him. They will take him to the infield care center, and it's going to be a wild ride on board with Earl Sear. He just gets turned up into the wall by St. Joseph and Jared Jackson. Gets slid out of control, gets hit by Murray there. He gets that, and then Warning gets into him. A lot of contact, and then he gets hit again by Felix Anderson. That just sends him into a tailspin. And from there, it's just no question. He's just trying to hang on for dear life. And he finally comes to a rest on all 4 wheels. Man, that was a hard hit for all drivers involved. You can still see the smoke settling from there.
Yeah. That is something else.
So, with that being said, we have 16 laps complete. We're cycling lap 16 right now. A lot of cars still on pit road, but not much hope they'll be able to recover from that. It looks like the field took care of their pit stops in this race during this caution flag, and that put Alexa Lutchen back into the lead. With Justin Hutchinson second, Chris Lattimore looks like he will be in third position. Lutchen's running down low on the track, probably trying to just get some fuel pickup issues to hopefully resolve, as Alvarez leads the way, but he will come down pit road this time. So Lutchen pulls up to assume the lead with Hutchinson second, Lattimore third, Mashburn fourth. Peter Onjak will be your 5th place car ahead of Brett Bishop in 6th. Man, this field is dwindling very quickly. And we've got a smoker. That's Chris Lattimore. He was running in 3rd position, and just like that, his hopes of winning the season opener have gone up in smoke, quite literally, under caution too.
What? I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like that. That's incredible. I mean, that's awful news for the 47 team.
Alexa Lutchen's seen it before. She had an engine failure while leading at Chicagoland last season in the Superstar Series. She has to remember that very well. And that's exactly what happened to Chris Lattimore here, under caution, running in 3rd place. He was doing a pretty solid job avoiding wrecks, staying up in the front, but his race is now over.
Well, that sure is an unfortunate sight. To be sure, you know, it's blown up under caution. You have to wonder if he ran over some debris. I mean, a couple of really big crashes. Maybe there's still some debris out there. It just gets sucked up under the car and knocks something important out. You know, but that's just a tough break right there.
So with Chris Lattimore out of this race, we will take you to the restart when we are able to. That elevates Miles Mashburn to 2nd, Peter Onjak to 3rd, Brett Bishop up to 5th position now, as Santiago Alvarez makes his way back around to join the lap. As you can see, that's why he's 2 minutes off the pace. That's not representative. Yeah. That's just when he tripped the timing light. So Chris Lattimore out of this race. We'll take you to the restart when it's ready for us. This is the One-Up Nitro National Series from Pensacola. Alexa Lutchen is your leader.
Yeah, you know, and when there's less cars on the track, there's less opportunity for that really close four-wide racing. Not that I don't expect we'll see it again. Of course, I definitely think we will. But there's less opportunity for too many cars to be in too little of a space. So we're going to see what happens here. Single file restart. It's going to be tame for maybe a quarter of a lap here, but we'll find out.
Oh, I see Zach Rogers with a bit of an issue pulling out of line before the green flag. It looks like he's up to speed though. I'm not sure what.
Interesting.
He may have run over something. Maybe pick up a slow leak on one of his tires or something. But
yeah, feeling a vibration or something. That's very strange. A couple of strange things going on, but it doesn't matter for Alexa Lutchen. She's pulling away.
We'll keep you updated on Zach Rogers throughout these next few laps, see what actually happened to his number 42 Dodge. But right now, it's Alexa Lutchen leading the way with Miles Mashburn second, ahead of Peter Onjak, and they've shuffled Justin Hutchinson up to the top side. It looks like he'll cycle in behind his teammate Brett Bishop, but right now, Alvarez making a move not for the lead, but to get back on the lead lap, and Miles Mashburn now moving in to position to take the lead of this race on lap number 19. And looking back, you can see Zach Rogers making the move to pit road. It looks like he did have a slow leak on one of his left side tires. So that will send the 42 car to pit road, and likely his hopes of winning the race are done now.
That's really an unfortunate break for yet another car under that caution. That caution will go down in infamy, I believe. But you know, we've got some interesting racing up front. I saw Sam Denotto coming back. You know, he was leading in the very beginning of this race, and now he's making the move to the bottom for the lead. They're 3 wide with the lap car of Alvarez, and Sam Denotto trying to get back out front where he started the race from.
He's got help from his Toyota teammate Christian Russell in the 26. So Sam Denotto's back out front with help from Russell and Hutchinson and Kenneth Grant, but they all fan out off of 4. So, and because with Rogers making that pit stop, that really shuffled up the field to now this small pack that is going to contest the win likely between them.
Yeah, so Sam Denotto, you know, he is one of those. I'm looking at 2 cars. I'm looking at that 00, and I'm looking at the 26. I believe those 2 are the strongest 2 cars on this racetrack right now. And I think if you want to win this race, you're going to have to beat Denotto, and you're going to have to beat Russell to do it.
And Justin Hutchinson's going to give it a try. He's getting to the inside of Russell for second, but Denotto closes the door. Hutchinson with help from Kenneth Grant, the lone remaining ZD Autosport car. In this race, the Coca-Cola Chevrolet leading the charge for the Chevrolet contingent here. He's got help from Logan Williams in the 1, Zach Rogers' teammate. Hopefully, Williams doesn't suffer the same fate as Rogers does, but now Williams to the inside of Grant and Hutchinson. They're going to go 3 wide behind Sam Denotto. Williams has help from Kyle Corbett. Grant has help from Ryan Caggiano, and it looks like Hutchinson's got some help on the outside too.
Yeah, that 00 car is looking like a rocket ship in a couple of different ways right now. But they've got 3 wide behind him. That's the second time that I've seen Sam Denotto out front with a big group of cars behind him all lined up side by side, nose to tail. And that's exactly where Sam Denotto wants to be, in front of the chaos.
He's got Kyle Corbett up his rear bumper right now. Corbett in the Fina Dodge, number 86. He's going to try and make a move on him at some point, but he's got to have Brett Bishop helping him out to do it. Plus, that 3 cars are back in the mix. Your remaining car in this race has made his way up into the top 5, and it looks like he's going to plan on staying there for a while.
Yeah, well, here's to hoping. You know, there's nowhere safe on this track except for maybe being the leader. But, you know, Corbett's going for the lead right now. He has no help from behind. Alvarez is going to make a move there as the lone lap down car in front of him. Sam Denotto is going to move down. I'll tell you what, Sam Denotto has done a fantastic job of staying ahead of everybody in this race. He knows where to go when he's trying to block. He knows how to do it in a safe way as to not get in a crash, and that's really impressive. That's something that I haven't really seen for all of this week so far. And as I say it, maybe it was commentator's curse, but he's gonna maybe lose the lead here as they're side by side now.
I did see this in Duel 2 with Blair in the 19 car. She was able to hold off the entire field. She led 17 of 30 laps in that race en route to victory in that duel. So, I doubt there'd be any information sharing because Blair's in the Ford camp and Denoto drives a Toyota.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Denoto watched that race because
Yep.
Denoto was in the first duel. He would have been able to watch the second one from wherever he watched it from and picked up some tips from the 19, and now he's leading the outside line as Kyle Corbett takes over the lead of this race.
Yeah, and Denoto has been here before in this race on the outside lane. He's probably going to slide to the back at some point here and then going to try to claw his way back up to the front. But we're halfway through this race at the moment, and
looks like they're coming up to lap Zach Rogers in the 42. That's not going to end well, probably. But as we talk about cars coming and going, take a look at that third car on the inside line, Giovanni Pena in the 99. He started deep in the field. He's making a move on Alvarez right now. He's running in second place, and who knows? Anybody can win this race. Why not him in the 99?
Yeah, made a move to the bottom there, passing Santiago Alvarez in the 98 car, and that's a good move to make because that 98 car still not on the lead lap, but hanging tough. And we're going to see what happens with this lap car here. We talked about it in the beginning of the race. The lap cars are going to be in the way if they are. They're going to try to stay on the track, and there's not going to be a lot of room. There's two of them out there.
Yeah, there's Zach Rogers, and then there's Devin Fair, who's a lot slower. No. And it looks like he's going to hold up the inside line. So Corbett is through, Alvarez is through, Russell and Denoto are through. But behind him, Devin Fair is just holding up everybody back there. Alexa Lutchen's going to try and get around on the outside, but Fair comes up there as well.
Oh, no.
Devin Fair is trying to get out of the way, but where is there to get out of the way on this racetrack?
Yeah, not a lot of room, especially they went 3 wide below him. I mean, there's just nowhere else to go, holding up this whole line. This is going to spread out the field quite a bit. Oh, man.
So, with Devin Fair having split up this pack in a big way, that will now allow Kyle Corbett to have a very handy lead in this race. He's got Russell for company, he's got Denoto for company, but after that, that's about it, because behind them is Nicky Martinez in fourth, but 2 seconds off the lead. So right now, it's Corbett, Denoto, and Russell that look to have this race in hand, unless that pack behind them can catch up.
Yeah, and we saw in that first duel, if people can, in the Superstar Series, and of course the cars are different, but the draft works the same for the both of them. If you can get in a line of cars, that's going to be way quicker than these cars racing with each other. And I'll bet you with that 98 car being in this group, he is really, really going to want to get ahead of all these guys. So they're going to be racing each other, and that's the best thing. There you go, Sam Denoto making a move for the lead, side by side, punching a bigger hole through the air, and that's just going to slow him down. So we're watching that pack from behind to catch up if they can get lined up and go.
They did gain 2/10 on that lap. I expect them to gain more because we've got 3 cars battling for the lead, plus the lappers of Alvarez and Rogers in this mix as well. But Sam Denoto, with help from his Toyota teammate Christian Russell, is making a move down the inside on Kyle Corbett, but it looks like that outside line's got a bit more of momentum, and that should allow Corbett to hold on for at least a little while, but Denoto's hanging tough there on that inside lane.
Yeah, the bottom lane, it's the shorter way to go around the track, and Denoto is showing it just same speed, shorter distance right there. Plus, he's one of the 2 fastest cars in this race, I believe, at least, and the 26 is right behind him, the other one. So that's a strong bottom groove, and I believe that group is caught up even more. Just saw the
They just gained 7/10 of a second that lap. At least Nicky Martinez did. So expect this pack to get a lot bigger very soon. And expect Sam Denoto, Kyle Corbett, and Christian Russell to have a lot of company very soon as the pack closes up behind them.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what these cars do when that pack catches them. They're going to be catching at such a high rate of speed. Well, if they're 3 wide, it won't matter, but the pack is going to catch them so quickly. They're probably going to try to go around and make the passes. So we're going to have to see how these guys react.
Here they come, Nicky Martinez, Jacob Hammond, Kenneth Grant, Brett Bishop, Alexa Lutchen. They're leading that second pack, who have now caught up, and they're going to try and make a move on the inside of all of these guys.
Close.
Bit of contact between Martinez and Rogers there. Martinez just trying to find a hole where there wasn't one there.
Wow.
So Kyle Corbett looks to be the first one to fall victim to this onrushing pack. Martinez with help from Corbett's teammate Jacob Hammond. One of the two remaining Genesis cars still in the race, with Kenneth Grant leading the inside line. Now Brett Bishop leading the inside line, but they go 4 wide behind the leader of San Donato.
Yeah, that absolutely was a scary moment with the 25 car getting so close, almost turning the 42 around, but it was a really, it ended up working out, and now the 25 is going inside of Alvarez, who is still hanging strong right up there with the leaders, and trying to pass Sam Donato.
So Nicky Martinez trying to make a move for the lead, but San Donato continues to hold her off in that NASA Toyota, trying to hold him off to get the first win in the Nitro National Series of any driver, let alone his own first win in the series. But Martinez and Bishop look like they have something to say about it, as does Alexa Lutchen. This pack's getting quite strung out, except for the front, because Nicky Martinez is going to try and make a move down the inside of Sam Donato with help from Brett Bishop and Alexa Lutchen.
Yep, that's the move, and Sam Donato did not want to look in his mirror and see nobody out there to help. Man, what a helpless feeling that must be, having nobody behind to push you. He's going to the back now, but I'm sure that 00 car is not done yet.
So Nicky Martinez now the leader of this race with Brett Bishop right behind her. Martinez will not tell us whose face is on that car, but it must be providing some form of advantage, because here they come to lap Kyle Vaughters in the 62. This could be a bit of a wrinkle. They just got caught back up as well. So let's see if Vaughters can actually stay in touch with this pack, because Devin Fair couldn't do it.
Hold up the outside line there with Sam Donato.
It looks like they'll be able to pick him up, though.
Yeah.
Will Kyle Vaughters moves in front of Logan Williams in the number 1, and it looks like Vaughters will be able to get up to speed, but at the expense of all these guys behind him, losing touch with the lead pack, who are now breezing past. There's John McFadden in the 27 getting around. There's Guerrero. We've got another engine failure. This time it's Ryan Caggiano in the 81, a returning veteran of the Superstar Series who won at Martinsville last year. But now his hopes of winning the first Nitro National Series race have gone up in smoke again, quite literally.
Yeah. It's
a tough break for the 81, but again, this is one of those championship contenders we've been talking about, early odds-on favorites, but he should be a contender once we get to the short tracks, but man, that's a tough break to start the season off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, meanwhile, and there's a lap car so close to
They're lapping Devin Fair
they're
lapping Devin Fair for a second time, and they need to get that 01 car off track. He's slowing at a dramatic rate. He's not even able to push 200, and the field is running 215, 216 right around him. So once again, Devin Fair splits up the pack, and he's holding up the full frontal motorsports cars of Williams and Rogers there. But now it looks
dangerous game to play.
It looks like Martinez is going to get ganged up on by the two Jeff Bolton racing cars of Hutchinson and Bishop. Because they're
going to go 3 wide.
They are going to take her 3 wide, with Alexa Lutchen wondering, who am I going to push? It looks like she's going to push Justin Hutchinson out in the front. But Christian Russell's still in this mix as well, trying to get to Brett Bishop's back bumper. As once again, we have this group of 5 cars out front, but the pack behind them looks like they should close back up in a real hurry.
Yeah, and the momentum is just so different with 2 different groups of cars. You got this one with 5 cars, and they're not really lined up at all, so they're punching a big hole through the air. In fact, they are lined up like a flock of birds right now. But that big pack behind them is just, there's a lot of pushing going on, and they're going really, really fast. So I do expect those guys to catch back up, but man, by the time they catch back up, they might catch back. They all would catch up to that 01 car again, who is just significantly slower than the rest of the field right now. Major issues for that 01 car, and it's holding everybody up.
Right now, it's the Jeff Bolton racing cars side by side for the lead. Jeff Bolton's got to be happy watching his 2 cars battle it out for the lead. Which one will lead this lap? It looks like Hutchinson will nose out Bishop for the time being. But Bishop has that inside line, and he's got help from Christian Russell, but that pack closing up, led by Miles Mashburn, is closing up in a hurry. And I expect them to be all in one big pack again by the time they hit the back straightaway.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a high rate of speed that they're catching up. We're going to see there's not a lot of room for anybody to go, but Miles Mashburn is going to try to make room on the bottom. He slides back up to the top, though, in the middle now, and the 55 is going to take advantage of that, coming on the bottom for third right there.
That's Kenneth Grant with help from Bill Capri in the 63, and there's Sam Denoda once again in that double zero, making a move down into the top 10. But Brett Bishop cleverly blocks the run from Grant and Capri, and Bishop
stuck in the middle.
Laps. But he is stuck in the middle, and there looks like Grant's going to try and make a move for the lead now, going down into turn 1. He's got help from Sam Denodo, Jose Guerrero, Giovanni Pena, and Jacob Hammond on that inside line. But Brett Bishop is being shuffled to the back, and now Kenneth Grant is your leader. But Sam Denodo will want to get back past that 55 in a big hurry.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just one of those things that amazes me. We don't even have the whole pack that's on the track in this group, and for a minute there, we were 4 wide battling for position. These guys are just crazy trying to win this race. They know it's coming down. They've got only about 13 laps to go here, coming to 12, or I think, if I can do math in my head. But this is just insane racing right now for a group that has been split up 2 or 3 times and have all come back together, and now they're racing for the win. And we've got a new challenger up front in the 78 car.
That's Jose Guerrero in the Sol Speed entry. He's performing double duty this weekend. He's been called up to the Superstar Series to replace Braden Saul in the 500. That's got to be a big opportunity for Guerrero in the 78. But right now, he's battling for the lead and the win in the Nitro National Series. And look at John McFadden in the 27. He started back in the high 30s, but now he's pushing Guerrero to the lead in that Apple Chevrolet. But right now, it's Jose Guerrero out front, but Sam Denodo's posing a bit of a challenge on the high side. Denodo will continue to lead this race by a nose, but Guerrero's got position. Ooh, bit of contact between Luchin and Martinez in the back of the pack. That shows Grant up high. Man, these guys are not showing any sign of wanting to slow down. We've only got 12 laps to go in this race. The whole race is up for grabs between this whole pack of cars.
Yeah, and that Sam Denodo car, who is back out front, clear of anybody side by side, that's just impressive. Coming from the outside like that with help, that's just something that not many cars in this pack can do. Sam Denodo is really, really going to be tough to beat in this race, and we've got contact in the back a couple of times in this group where it looks like it's going to be another one of those big crashes where there's too many cars for too little space, but so far so good. Fingers crossed that we can get all the way.
So Sam Denodo out front, Jose Guerrero second, Kyle Corbett in third, then Justin Hutchinson, and Logan Williams has made his way back into the top 5. With the 63 car right behind him, Christian Russell's there. Jared Jackson's getting a bit of a run. We haven't mentioned his name much today, but he's making a charge into the top 10. And we check on the fastest lap, currently held by Brett Bishop, of all people, in this race. Surprised, because we'd think that Denodo would have a clean sweep of all the awards this race at the rate he's going. But no, the 34 of Brett Bishop currently holds the fastest lap point. As they're coming up to lap a few more cars, Sam Joseph, and it looks like Jerry Cook in the 72. These guys should be able to get out of the way pretty quickly. And if not, that's just going to cause... Well, it looks like they'll be able to hold up...
Oh no, they're blocking both the lanes.
That might not be a bad thing. It allows them to hold up both lanes equally. It allows them to get caught up. But then here's Devin Fair. They're going to lap him for a third time.
And Sam Denodo, our leader, is boxed in. He's going to try to go low. Looks like it's going to work out for him. Devin Fair moved up the track, and Alvarez is still hanging out with the leaders. I mean, can you imagine if that car was on the lead lap? I'm sure that's exactly what Alvarez is thinking, too.
So Devin Fair is just getting cycled back through the field, and this is going to split the pack up once again.
Yeah.
So you got Capri stuck back there. You got Cook, who's a lap down. You got Russell, you got Hutchinson, Jackson, McFadden, and Bishop all trying to get around the lap car of Devin Fair, who just can't seem to find a lane to settle in, ride around in.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be that slow on track, you should at least get down on the apron so where nobody's running. Because look at these two ahead of steam coming up the outside. Peter Onjak and the free car right behind him. They've been running by themselves for most of this race, but they've been drafting together very nicely together this race, and they've made a big pass on at least 3 cars there. As now Kenneth Grant's going for the lead on Sam Donotto.
Yep, with Alexa Lutchen pushing from behind. That Alexa Lutchen car has been looking really strong as of late in this race. Sam Donotto still holding strong on the outside. Again, I still think that Sam Donotto is going to be the car you have to beat coming to the final laps in this race. But there's not a lot of time left for these packs to catch back up. I believe that second group outside of this 7 right here will catch up because, well, actually, it's only 4 cars I see now, so they're going to catch up, and that's just the lead pack is dwindling. That's the best way to put it here.
We've only got 8 laps to go in this race. Anything can still happen. Kenneth Grant is your new leader, with Donotto and Lutchen side by side for second. Kenneth Grant is the only one on his team still in this race. All 3 of his teammates were taken out in earlier accidents, so a win from him today would do team owner Wyatt Dooling very proud, and he'll at least salvage that after a very disappointing Pensacola race where 3 of his cars were taken out in the same accident. But right now, they're 4 wide for second, right behind him.
My goodness, there's only about 11 cars in this group right here, and they still found a way to go 4 wide. That's nearly half the cars all lined up side by side. This racing has just been incredible today, and we've got some new faces out front, quite literally new faces out front with Nikki Martinez right there on the bottom lane in the 25.
And she's going to try and make a move for the lead. She got past Guerrero, and now she's working her way past Kenneth Grant in the 55. So put the 25 of Martinez out in front as we take the start-finish line to get to 6 laps of racing to go. Giovanni Pena is still hanging around as well. He's pushing Alvarez on that inside line. And don't count out Sam Donotto yet. He's at the back of this line, but he's making moves. As Giovanni Pena makes a move for the lead with help from Miles Mashburn, and Sam Donotto now put the 99 in the lead of this race as we approach 5 laps to go.
Yeah, and that 98 car still hanging on, trying to get back on the lead lap. It's, almost out front, almost in clean air ahead of everybody, but just not quite, stuck on the outside lane now. And look who's leading the bottom. Sam Donotto going for second place, 3 wide with help from behind.
He's got Logan Williams pushing him in the draft in that Synovus Dodge. But keep in mind, a caution here would likely end this race, so Santiago Alvarez is likely just run out of time to get his lap back. But we've got 5 laps to go in this race. Giovanni Pena out front, but here comes Sam Donotto on that inside line with help from Logan Williams and Alexa Lutchen. I'm just really, I have no words. Sam Donotto's just put on a clinic in this race, and a win from him would be very well deserved.
Absolutely, but I think that Alexa Lutchen has something to say maybe to us about giving so much praise to Sam Donotto today, because that 50 car has been really, really strong. So that is really something that we have to watch here coming in the closing laps. I don't think that Sam Donotto has it locked up quite yet.
So keep in mind, we've got Logan Williams in the draft. He's yet to lead today. Oh, here comes Lutchen swinging it down low, and she's got Grant pushing her as we cross the stripe. We've got 4 laps to go now. So it's Donotto out front, Williams second, Lutchen and Guerrero side by side for position, and Kenneth Grant still lurking, Jacob Hammond still lurking. Kyle Corbett is still there. We got 10 cars in this lead pack that can win this race, and there's still Santiago Alvarez just chilling out in that lead draft. Here's the second pack, though, led by Justin Hutchinson in 11. These guys are just hoping for carnage ahead of them so they can sneak past and try and take the win.
Yeah, it's a long shot for those folks, but with the racing as crazy as we've seen, anything is possible in this race. Sam Donotto is still out there, coming to 3 laps to go right here.
It is indeed 3 laps to go, but look at the run on the inside with Jacob Hammond getting shuffled out of line. There's Martinez making it 4 wide. But now, it's the two dominant cars of the day, Sam Donato and Alexa Lutchen. These two are probably going to settle this race between them as they start to pull away a little bit from the pack. We haven't seen that quite yet this race. But as they come to lap Kyle Vaughters, he should get out of the way fairly quickly. So I don't think this is going to be as big an issue. So Vaughters stays out of the way like a good lap car should. But he's going to hold up these. He's going to hold up these guys a little bit, and that's probably going to impact their chances of winning this race. But right now, it looks like Sam Donato's got a clear shot at victory because he's only got Lutchen and Martinez to deal with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Martinez now.
Oh, they're coming to lap Devin Thayer for a 4th time. Here they go. Oh, no!
Oh, Sam Donato!
Sam Donato out of the race. In the mix, just like that. Jacob Hammond's in it. Alexa Lutchen's involved in this wreck. Jacob Hammond sliding down the bank and look out. He gets hit by Hutchinson and Capri. No. The caution flag is out. Who's going to make it back to the line first? Capri's got damage. Hutchinson's got damage. We've got a lot of cars taken out in this one. Pena's involved, and we got the 3 car on his roof with Peter Onjak with some significant damage. Who's going to win this race? We're going to try and make our way back up to the front. It looks like Kenneth Grant in the 55 is going to win this thing coming to the caution flag. He was 6th with 2 laps to go, but now with a completely depleted field right behind him, Kenneth Grant is going to take the win in this race because the white flag is out. It's going to be run under caution. So Kenneth Grant's just won the season opener at Pensacola in a dramatic final few laps that I doubt anybody saw coming.
Devin Thayer, slow car all the way around the track, got lapped 4 times, just trying to turn laps, trying to gather points. And Sam Donato, there just was not enough room. My goodness, this one is gonna be one that haunts Sam Donato, I believe, for a long time.
The officials will be taking a look at Devin Thayer when all is said and done for impeding the leaders, but Kenneth Grant will be your winner. And another junk pile on pit road as Sam Donato has collected the 3 cars out. We just got a big mess on our hands. So you see, Donato's got a clear shot at the lead. He's got Lutchen and Martinez behind him. He should be able to hold them off pretty well and just cruise to his first career win. But as you can see Devin Thayer's just lurking up ahead. I don't know where he was trying to run. But
Martinez made that move. The 50 was stuck on the outside, tried to move back down.
And then Thayer just came down. I guess he just didn't think he could get out of the way fast enough. Donato, heartbreak for him. As with Lutchen and Jacob Hammond, their races have done. Hammond took a wild shot there. Capri with damage. Bishop's got a piece of damage. Justin Hutchinson's got a junked race car. Oh, Kyle Vaughters and Giovanni Pena with some heavy damage as well. And then this 3 car lands on his roof, skidding alongside his drafting partner for today, Peter Onjak. Neither of them will see the finish of this race. This has been a jumbled up final few laps. I still need to sort out who's running in the top 10 at the end of this thing.
Yeah, because this has just been... that was wild. I have no idea who is going to end up... Here we go. We got the...
So we have 9 cars finishing this race on the lead lap for those keeping score at home. Kenneth Grant is your race winner. Logan Williams will finish 2nd, ahead of Nicky Martinez in 3rd. And I'm curious if they'll count Christian Russell's 10th place finish as a finish there because of his DNF. Okay, Kyle Corbett will finish 4th, ahead of Jose Guerrero in 5th. Miles Mashburn 6th. Alexa Lutchen will get credit for 7th place, ahead of John McFadden in 8th. Jared Jackson in 9th, and I think they will count Christian Russell as finishing in the top 10 despite his DNF from this race.
He might have just been the one that slid the farthest of those that could not continue. That would be my guess, at least.
Yeah, so it looks like we'll have 9 cars finishing this race on the lead lap for those keeping track at home. But, man, we've had quite an exciting race, perhaps for the wrong reasons here at Pensacola. But Kenneth Grant's sure to be celebrating, and as well as the whole ZD Autosport team. They've salvaged a win out of what at the start of this day was a disaster for them. But Kenneth Grant managed to persevere, and he's your winner today.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a way to turn a bad day into a good day. Three of the four cars get taken out really early in this race, and then the fourth takes the checker flag. So that's pretty neat for that team right there. And there's going to be a lot of owners paying up after tonight.
So that being said, the cars will next head to Atlanta Motor Speedway for race number 2 of the One Up Nitro National Series schedule. We're looking forward to that race. Some plenty of side-by-side action there as well. We hope to see you there as well. From Duke Ansack and from myself as well, we say goodbye from the Carnage Pit that was Pensacola Super Speedway. Congratulations to Kenneth Grant, though. He is your race winner after a chaotic day at Pensacola.